And then, Hanno, can you give us a quick introduction about yourself and also share with us what Unleash Life does?
Sure. Thanks, Kim. Thanks for having me. When I actually listened to Ash Bharti this morning, I thought this would be a great intro to this panel here. She talked about data
Yes.
and how important data is for decision making. And one of the things that we at Anish Live see is that data collection and data analysis is still a huge challenge for especially asset intensive businesses. You probably experience it all yourself. A lot of the data is still collected manually, even though there are sensor companies, and I think AWS has a great stand where you have temperature sensors and vibration sensors. And there are many sensor companies coming out of the woodworks. But I think over 90% of the data is still collected manually. So if you think about energy generation assets, you still have abseilers going down wind turbines to check on the condition of the blades. You have, with energy utility companies, you have field workers just with checklists manually inputting the condition of the power poles. And none of this is real time.
Yeah.
So you collect the data, then you go to the office, then you upload it, you input it into a system. Plus, it's very hard to compare and to get a lot of data in real time because you have vast amounts of assets, right? You have over 1.7 million power poles in New South Wales alone.
Wow.
So how do you get all of this data in real time to assess not only the productivity of the asset, but the condition of the asset? So at Unleash Live, we believe there's a better way than just IoT sensors and manual capture. We believe vision is your powerful sense, your most powerful sense. And Ash Bharti talked about this morning. She said she's observing the opponent to actually identify patterns to have an edge over the opponents, which is a brilliant summary of what we do.
What you do?
We take computerized vision and we connect it into cloud, straight into SAP in real time to assess the condition of any vast critical infrastructure asset.
Well, that's actually incredibly important at the moment because we do have a lot of customers that's interested in learning about how we maintain our assets. How do we predict when do I need to figure, when do I need to have all these people here in case it breaks? So can you share a specific project, Hanno, that you're working on right now?
Sure. So we are coming up to bushfire season again, and California is on fire again, unfortunately. This was actually the origin of Anish Live. I was in California in 2016, where there was it was called car bushfire, and unfortunately 99 people perished. The fire teams and the community struggled with real-time data on where the fire developed and also how to actually respond quickly to the changing fire locations. So we came in back then, we had all manual drones and we had fire trucks equipped with cameras, and we brought that data back to the ROC, basically the decision-making remote operation center. That was in 2016.
Yeah.
So now again, we are back in bushfire season, and by now we have completely automated the capture. So we are running hundreds of drones in the Blue Mountains and up the northern beaches, up to Newcastle. And they are completely automated. They fly their missions by themselves. And we have ground-based vehicles. We complement all of this data. So we have high-powered cameras on both, on the flying robots and the ground robots. We capture all of this data. We capture about 9 million images and about 50,000 hours of video footage. And we analyze all of this in real time. And we identify patterns on the condition of the power grid, both the conductors and the poles itself. We play that back into the condition reporting, both for regulatory purposes, but also, most importantly, for safety purposes. And then the offspring of that is you actually have a much better understanding of the productivity of your asset to know when to send out maintenance crews
Right.
and to ensure that the grid is more stable.
That's amazing. So you catch it before it happens, and
Exactly.
you'll know where to put your resources, which is also really important use just from a business perspective. Once we understand how what's happening in our business from a prediction and data, and now AI is helping us, so we can understand where we need to put our resources. So there's lots of industries that can use something like that, but more on a business data perspective.